Vico Flixie leading the pack. Chaptini right behind them, and Swizzy Vanya in third place. Those are the three duos that all battled out height at the same time in the last match, and the duo that came out on top is the duo that's leading in first place. There's still 2 matches, Jacob. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can realistically happen, and you don't even necessarily need Vico and Flixie to go down, but 100% you need them to slow down. And yes, I see what you're seeing, and I hope Perhawa has different thought. Yeah, he's going to that little split drop towards the left. This one is looking like another true 50-50 on that chest.
The pickaxe battle, 2v2 pickaxes. Will they get the weapon out of the chest? Will they continue swinging their pickaxes? Hydro goes for the weapon and he secures it. They get the knock with the pickaxe, but unable to pick up the weapon. QNDX now put into panic as he looks for any sort of weapon.
This was best case scenario, the best case scenario of him getting that weapon. It was a DMR. I've even pickaxed somebody going up against a DMR. So Hydro knows he has to scramble around, but it's now, if he found any loot, could be still a mismatch. I'm trying to see what he has on the other side. It does look like he has a shotgun, so this is not an advantage to QNDX, whether he has the sneak attack or not.
The good news is that Cola granted him so much shield that even though he doesn't have the weapon advantage going against the shotgun, he just has to connect his shots now with Hydro on top of him, avoiding to break that slurp truck as it will heal both of them. QNDX is now cracked, just 1 shot away from getting eliminated, and he goes down. Hydro and Kaido coming out on top once again.
That basically made him walk the plank off the edge of that ship, say, hey, we don't need you anymore. But Perhawa and Comeback, you were the one that spotted him out floating through the sky. Gwen has landed not too far off here just to loot up and put themselves in this position to play janitor, clean up crew, and sweep this team out of the lobby.
Oh, this is not good for Hydro and Kaido. You can probably tell they're so happy right now, but Perhawa might not even look for the initial tag. They're both going to crouch up in a building, and it looks like they're going to go for the surprise attack.
I just want to hope that maybe they saw the footsteps running away through those audio visuals, maybe heard them, because right now this is looking like Perhawa and Comeback. If Hydro and Kaido think they're uncontested here, they're going to run into that building, try to get some of that loot, and get caught off guard. But I just want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's been pickaxed, though. They literally pickaxed the door frame. You can see it's been damaged. And they know that QNDX and Phantom didn't go back here. They both landed on the dock side, so once they see that wall that's been pickaxed already, I'd hope that's going to be a red flag in their mind.
Wouldn't it be sweet if they did know they were there and they're just trying to farm up? Because Comeback and Perhawa, in theory, did not have a lot of materials overall. So this could be a chance for them to push forward.
Kaido.
2 angles. Yep, they did see him. They're trying to get the sneak attack, but Kaido just bit off more than he can chew. Hydro stuck by himself. Crash pad and the launch pad could be possible to try to get out and maybe circle back, especially with another team. You see them in the distance. The third party's rolling in. That's what Hydro is going to use. That distraction is the key for his survival.
But it looks like they're going right towards Hydro. They aren't even going towards Perhawa. They went to block the launch pad, but now the chase continues.
He just got a little bit too greedy, going right back. And now he's really trying to just catch him off guard, but Comeback Perhawa is still dealing damage. This isn't a situation I would wish onto anybody to be in, because even though he is by the launch pad, he doesn't really have HP. He has to use his crash pads, and that still makes him susceptible to taking shots just like this.
Yeah, if he takes the launch pad, he's going to go down in the air. If he takes the crash pad, he's going to get tagged. He's made it out for now. But as Chroma lands on him with the HP and shield advantage, it's only a matter of time until Hydro goes down.
And now you got Yanis and Pixie right above Brawler's Battleground. Comeback Perhawa, the ones that kind of landed not too far off. And this is a good chance for Yanis and Pixie, honestly, if they see all this, to try to get some surge. Chapatini looking to keep their aggression alive. We talked about a huge elimination difference. Even for them, it's only 14, which is about 84 points. They're losing out on eliminations to Vico and Flixie, which would kind of inch them closer. They wouldn't be in first, but they would be much closer to that first place spot than ever before.
Making sure to stay together, stay grouped up. As the shots continue to come through, Teeny's been dropped down to 15 shield. Chap is quickly healing up. They have the Flowberry Fizz, have the Cola activated as well. They will be able to get back to a good amount of shield and HP and even cause their opponents to potentially disengage here.
Yeah, that's Trash and Splash. They land just a little bit more north on the map, and they have been making their rotations on toward this direction. I think since game 1 today, at the bare minimum, this has been an overcrowded spot for a lot of players making their rotation in, whether the zone pools here or not. And I think that's what makes it a huge part of Trash and Splash's game plan, because it's going to be the best chances they have to get Surge. Because Rebels, Roost, you know, those two teams fight it out. There's not a lot of opportunity there.
Where is the opportunity is the question. Chapantini went for a couple shots and instantly continued with their disengagement. Asa and Ju, though. What's gone wrong over here? They've secured one elimination so far. Hootie's going to be the last one up now. Do they know where he is, though? Footsteps coming through. They must.
He can at least fake out the revive. He knows he has him weak. The damage is there. So as long as he goes for the revive, Hootie has to do one of two things. Disengage like he's doing now, or the other would have been to try to push in, stop the revive, handle 1v1 while you can. But he has less than 50 HP. So I think he's making that conscientious decision to just stay alive, get those points, get your teammate back, and really have a strength in numbers. There's no point in doing it as a solo if you don't have to.
Once again, Vico and Flixie going for that forecast tower, securing it. So we know that they are going to have vision on the upcoming zones before they appear for other players that don't have a forecast tower.
It's kind of like business as usual for them. Hopefully they can keep their 3 minimum eliminations alive, because that's what's really been propelling them above and beyond being contenders here in this game. As CZB Nathan, they jump onto Lunex. He's all the way out of the game overall. And you got to think of those off-spawn contested fights. Even if you win them, you disengage as a solo. Teams like this will take note of that.
Launch pad coming through for CZB and Nathan. That's what I like about this. Even north and northeast part of the map around Mount Olympus, Grand Glacier. There's so many environmental launch pads that you can use combined with the Flowray Fizz to basically get yourself a significant distance quickly. On the southern side, you have those nitro rings. Swizzy Vanya, though, looks like they're hungry for something.
Uh-oh, they're ready to chop him down. Even if they're not going to take fall damage, at least puts them in a more fighting position than just being elevated so far up. And they're ready to just fight all the way from the low ground. You see him with that combat all the way from Brutal Beachhead. It packs a punch with distance in mind, but now High Ground comes crashing down. Kvi Chino just trying to run away, but they run closer and closer to Vanya, who's landing just more and more shots. They know they have their opponents weak, and that's going to give them the confidence to continue to put pressure. Multiple angles yet again. They're not letting them slow down, forcing them to change layers if they're looking to survive, which means they're expending builds, and they're expending them at a rapid pace.
Applying an amazing amount of pressure. This is everything for Swizzy and Vanya. Being in the top 3, they need a big match if they want to take home that Axe of Champions. And they didn't want to let Storm Surge get the best of them. They applied the aggression. They did a great job. But once they saw Vidil and Reason, the third party, come through, they said, it's too risky now. We need to get out.
Yeah, with how consistent they have been, they're just very, very calculated in their approach to fights. 350 points so far for Vidil and Reason. They already have that one elimination. They started the game in 10th place with 344. So already looking to progress. And for them, like we keep talking about, they already have their global championship spot secured. So if they end up in the top 10, that spot is going to trickle down to the next player, which would mean Akira and Easy could scrape into that global championship if the game ended now.
That would be insane. Akira and Easy have been dominating the early games throughout these couple days of grand finals. Let's take a look here at what Vigo and Flixie have been up to.
Oh, they see two teams fighting out. That's just easy pickings.
Wow.
Easy. No one even expected them to be there, so that's one elimination. Go Stormy just trying to hide behind the vet. Nah, we saw you. No hiding for you.
Had a little
That's
too big.
the full duo. Yep, out in this game.
Getting over the bed. Unfortunate. Kiro and Mappy, though. They've got the nice little 2024 Storm Surge base set up. Have they got enough damage, though?
Got a little Surge base here. As long as the zone keeps pulling towards the north, this isn't necessarily a bad Surge base, But I feel like they just need to stay here just a little bit longer. I don't know when they're rotating. I don't know exactly the direction, but every time we see them, 5th zone, 6th zone, they're down on Surge, kind of having to go box to box to get it. Yellow and Fnayan just getting attacked. Even separated here for a moment. A full duo is going to be on the chase. 51 HP as he continues to get tagged up. He's trying to reunite with Fnayan, who's on top of one of those buildings, quickly trying to close the distance, but in comes Marine from the top. Crash pad, just trying to get another angle. Breaks in. Nice shot from Fnayan to back down Marine. Now both him and Cade have to get on the defensive if they're looking to keep control of this fight.
He's getting popped. Marine going to be able to recuperate that lost HP alongside a potential Cola, but it looks like he wants to save it for 9 on the other end. Big pots, full Flowberry Fizz if they decide to use it. I don't think this engagement's going to come to a full close, but maybe a bit more tags back and forth potentially as both duos just looking to get damage here.
With how well Vico and Flixie are playing, I know there's limited rotations where you land at, where Cade and Marine, top of the mountain, a little bit of a split drop, especially since it's contested. But I feel like I just would not want to rotate near restored reels, near reckless railways, where you know Vico and Flixie are more than likely going to be positioned up, especially if you VOD reviewed from yesterday.
Which I hope these players have. We had a lot of south zones so far throughout the day, like extremely south ones. And once again, zone kind of looking like it could potentially pull towards this side of the map once again. Yanis and Pixie already have a good position for that, as it has pulled south.
You see Rift Island in the distance. You know what I think about Rift Island? So to me, it's a lot of information seeing it pop up here at the southeastern portion of the map at Redline Rig this time. Like I said, 5th, 6th zone. It typically does tend to pull away, not 100% of the time, but if you're in the game and you're starting to notice some patterns, it might be worth it to make a rotation across the map. Either that or just kind of box up on a rift to make that a little bit easier instead of just rotating on foot, where you know a lot of teams are, especially because of the Nitro hoops all around.
Crash pad gonna come in. Perfect landing onto Kiduo. If he's not aware enough, it might just lead to his demise. Kiduo gets knocked down in the blink of an eye. Dexy and Eclipse are gonna be the duo taking advantage of it.
I just can't help but feel bad every single time that happens. It's just you got to be able to learn. That's why we see those 2024 Surge bases, Trulex and Chicho, full house on top of the hill. However they build those things, it's primarily to keep you from getting crash padded just like this. No matter how safe you feel, it's always going to be possible, especially if you're outside of the zone in a direction where a lot of teams are going to rotate into. As Dexy and Eclipse waste no time after getting that one, trying to rotate in. As Chapatini find another elimination on the Pablo. They have Bevies, just a sliver of HP. Even with a third party, they're quickly going to try to move in that direction, but they have to be careful. Reason and Vidil, they're jumping on top. They're not necessarily going just for shots. They're trying to go for pure eliminations. Chap is there stuck by himself, but Tini quickly goes and tries to converge on that location. And now he's just forced to reload. I'm not sure how much of that shot he did hit.
Tini has to hit a big shot here. Chap did a great job playing defensively. I believe he even cracked the deal as he was trying to push him. They already have 3 eliminations. Such a good start for our second place duo, but it almost got put to sleep as Vidil and Reason came with that push.
3 eliminations so far. Almost makes me wonder if they're seeing Vico and Flixie in the feed, does that kind of sparks? Oh, we got to get another one. We got to get another one. Because they've been averaging at least 3. In some games, you see 7, 6, 8. Because at this stage in the game, exactly what you just said. It's game 11. There's only 2 games total overall that you get to play, and there's not that many points possible left in those 2 games. So the only way to close the gap is go elim for elim and even try to outmatch him in that case.
Elim for Elim. That's what I like to see. 4 on the board now for Chapantini. I think that's even more than what Vico and Flixie have right now.
You saw how south the zone went early on in this game. So I want to look at things like this. Yeah. You're staggering back, you're waiting in zone, you have 3 med kits, so getting out might not be too hard, but by the time you get there, that's where you're gonna find a lot of those troubles. And I just hope this time around, they're not following in the same path as those previous games, not getting a lot of surge, which forces them into engagements as soon as they get towards the zone.
CZB Nathan, 3 elims as well. This match has been looking incredible for them. They've had to rotate all the way from the north side of the map down south for a 3rd time today. And it looks like they're adapting well.
And this is we were waiting for them to come online. We always keep talking about the potential of this team, you know, another team, so-and-so team, but just the inability to live up that potential leaves a lot to be missed here from some of these competitors. So Nathan and CZB, 1.5 multiplier here on day 2. They're just trying to take that and run from it. Run with it, I should say. 511 points. They're just trying to make sure when this day ends, they're inside of that top 10. And right now, they're in 4th place. So they are looking good.
They were 11th yesterday, so from 11th to 4th place, they've put their slot in the Global Championship qualifying range so far. Still 2 matches, though. Can they keep it up? Malibuca Merstach connecting some shots onto Art Skill. And it's going to be just enough to pick up that 2nd elimination.
Yeah, that's how for Art Skill, Shakos, they were doing good to start the day, but they slowly but surely have begun to fizzle out. It's Thomas is down. Weezy falls again. Chap and TD just all around the map. 6 eliminations, like you said. That's 36 points before placement has come in just yet. They realize the situation they're in. They're 14 elims down from Vico and Flixie in the overall elimination leaderboard going into this game. And the easiest way to close that gap in the point threshold is just get those eliminations. They're worth 6 points each.
Going into this match, they were 108 points behind Vico and Flixie. Chapantini know that if Vico and Flixie don't go down, they need some big matches to close that gap, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Just got to keep on that pace. Yanis, Pixie still in the conversation as well, learning from their past mistakes, making sure to not only stay together as a duo, but make sure that they're ahead on that surge. Gets the piece on the other side, almost boxes him up. But T-Chips Desi, they're doing a good job fighting back until Pixie has to say in the matter, getting a knock onto one of those 2 players. They don't know exactly where that player tried to escape from, but they know he went somewhere, and instantly he's found out. That's 12 points. That's 2 more eliminations for Yanis and Pixie. For them, it may not be about that 1st place spot, even though they are close. It's probably more so about that global championship spot.
Right, playing for that cutoff, but with shots being connected like those, Yanis instantly put into caution, getting a little scared. The sense of emergency in his bones as he quickly uses almost every material he has to stay up and pop that med kit.
108 points to start the game, but it's been narrowed down to about 96 points. I said they got to just go for elimination after elimination every time they at least see Vico and Flixie in the feed. Yanis and Pixie wasted no time. Even though they do have to heal up, they're just worrying about getting to zone first. They don't want to be one of the last teams to rotate in and get kept out.
Yeah, especially, I was going to say, if you have materials. The issue is they don't, so it might be difficult. Dexy Eclipse, another duo that's just on the borderline, but bad part is Eclipse has gone down. Good news is Dexy's picked up the eliminations, but even then, now forced to play out as a solo, forced to tank this storm and get in to the zone as there's so many duos that are going to be already looking back and taking shots at you. I'm not sure if Dexy's going to be able to make it.
I mean, his duo, he's just getting chunked out. I think it went from like a 2-tick to a 5-tick, maybe even 6 there for that quick second. He was forced to waste both of his colas, and he has almost no HP to show for it. But that's what happens when you're late to rotate, especially as a solo. Teams like this will just kind of keep you out. Even if they don't get the elimination, they're just making sure that's one less player in their path. More loot they could probably hop over and get, but it's 2 teams trying to make a claim for that one, as Dexy has no choice but to give up his position and try to drop down low.
Will Cheeps continue the aggression or let Dexy kind of hide here for a moment? It's Marine and Cade that are close by. Do they know that Dexy's crouched behind that tree, though?
That same tree is the same material he probably needs. He might be able to go up the ramp instead of Caden Marine and take a whole different route. Only time will tell if he's able to make it past this next zone. As we tune into Kiro Mappy, 6 below the damage threshold. Not as threatening as it was before, but it comes from me out of nowhere. Him and Chino, again, the crash pad plays, catching the team of Kiro and Mappy off guard. They do not learn from their mistakes, and they're doomed to repeat them.
Mappy now is going to be forced to play it out alone. He's going to pop his big pot. Not too far of a rotation, but this is not the position you want to be in, Jacob.
Not staying too far back, knows it's only one cola. It's not worth holding in the inventory. He's trying to get the shields up and the rest of those resources as much as he can before he crash pads right back in.
Oh.
It happened to him, and he's ready to do it to somebody else. Only lands a little bit of a shot, but at least he's above the damage threshold, feeling safe and elevated away from all those duos down below that are currently in a fight.
Issue is the zone's pulled to the far side here, so even though Mappy has the high ground, he's going to have to make a rotation. Look at down below, the chaos. Dexy goes down, Kite goes down, Turtle's cracked, Chino's cracked. And it's Vico with 6 eliminations, looking like the Terminator.
I was talking about Chapatini saying match him. Vico Flixie said, nah, every time you see that name on the feed, we need to match them. We need to keep our lead. The thought process going through here is absolutely incredible. 749 points. You know they're going to make this rotation easy with a crash pad and a Flowberry Fizz. Will they get beamed out of the sky with every other team trying to rotate their way forward? Flixie takes some damage, but not enough for any team to feel confident and push up in their direction. And as soon as they get to the front side of the zone, you can see they just elevate themselves again.
Look, if you're Teeny Chap, if you're Swizzy Vanya, and you see Vico Flixie, especially in the late game contesting height, it might be an all or nothing play. You're going to want to eliminate them before they keep on securing placement, keep on getting eliminations. But if you go down to them, that's bad news.
TrueLex Chicho trying to have some late game heroics here. Don't see a med kit on a Chicho. Wonder what TrueLex has. They do like to stagger this out back, get a couple of extra placement points when things do look rough. But all around, there's just eliminations lighting up left and right. Forzen, Gudenbra, Vanya's down as well. That's one of our top teams, but at least Swizzy's still alive. And you know what Swizzy can do when he has the flexibility as a solo.
Being top 3, hopefully a lot. Chaptini, though, I believe are still up and going. Chicho, TrueLex, 298. They're going to be looking to get themselves into that top 10, that spot at the Global Championship, as the rotate's going to come through.
And TrueLex and Chicho have that experience of the Global Championship last year. Getting contested almost every single game, still finding a way to win 2 matches on the biggest stage. They just need that opportunity to get there, and that's what really matters at the end of the day. But if you look at the field, Chaptini, they're elevated above, might be too early. Sky Scroll jumping across, and Nathan and CZB waiting in the wings for the opportunity. We know how many times a late high ground retake has come into play. Night zone, that's when you're gonna start watching the clock, but everything comes crashing down. A blessing for Chap as he finds another elimination onto CZB. 1,200 above the damage threshold.
And they continue moving forwards. 8 eliminations for Chapatini. This is exactly what they need to take home that first place spot. But in the feed, Vico is continuing his annihilation, getting Elim after Elim. The first place team, the second place team clashing it out.
This is a big opportunity. Chap and Teeny, they need to make up that point gap, and this is the biggest way to do it. But where is Vico? Where is Flixie? They're probably waiting somewhere, because in that last game, it was 11th, 10th zone that they had those late high ground take, or high ground was all distracted. You see them looking up. They're looking all around, but they have that focus on the high ground late in the game, waiting for that opportunity, that moment where they can go above.
6 eliminations for Vico. He's continuing to look for more pixies down below in the dirt. Sky's close by building, but he gets the double edit. He gets the knockdown. That's another elimination for Flixie and Vico.
Count him up, knock him down. But the duo is not out just yet, so it's only elimination points. 6 on top of that one. 7 total so far. This is looking like a runaway if nobody takes down Vico and Flixie.
Still moving strong. They've been split up. On the other end of the door, it's Chicho, it's TrueLex, but Vico gets out. He's low on shields, grouping up with his duo partner once again, and that Cola, it's saving the day.
They found a way again to unite at the front side of the zone, but the zone is once again pulling back. Now that's going to give him an opportunity. Teeny's down, Chap to force the medkits. Even though they have 9 eliminations, you cannot go down and let Vico and Flixie stay alive. That's going to continue to spread that point gap even further.
If Chap wants to take the throne, he has to clutch this out as a solo. Vico and Flixie are both up, but it's Malibuca and Merstach contesting them on high.
I don't know where Vico just went, but he just went to the front side of the zone. Scary place to be in, and he's down altogether. It might have come in, but it's a little bit too late because Flixie is still picking up a massive amount of points.
Medkit's coming through. Chap is popping that Flowberry Fizz as he's still inside of the zone. Flixie has no more medkit. He's gonna be forced to use this crash pad. Can he successfully do it? He cannot. Flixie's gonna go down.
5th place. 5 players still alive. They're going to get 6. A ton of eliminations. Now's the time to shine, Chap, with everything on the line. You might be new to this situation, but now it's time to really make it worth. But he gets trapped, stuck on the other side of the zone.
Malibuca, Merstach, they're still holding strong to the high ground. They want to close this one out as Reason and Vidil down below in the dirt. It's come down to a 2v2.
It's looking like a back-to-back here with Reason going down. They finally make the final drop. Vidil scrambling around, and they do it. 8 eliminations. Malibuca and Merstach, they want that first place spot.
You can see it in their eyes. Merstach and Malibuca capitalizing on having the top duos go down, securing the victory royale in the second to last match of the day. Jacob, I'm getting hyped up. We just have one more match left after this, and I can't wait for it to happen. But before that, we gotta head back to Frankie, Levin, and Minnie. You gotta let me know what just happened. I got too excited.